Critical updates, force and fleet readiness, cough aerosol mitigated and contained. Cure and antitussive treatment are not the same thing. Read Dr. Weinberger's peer-reviewed and published, acute and chronic cough cure story called, The Doctor Behind the Miraculous Cure for Nonstop Coughs here in the Daily Beast. Video repository of Dr. Weinberger's research. Her repository of Dr. Weinberger's research here. You have heard treatment, procedure, suppressive, remedy, and antitussive for your acute or chronic dry cough. Has any medical professional ever told you they could or would actually cure your cough? No. Neither did we, until we met Dr. Miles Weinberger, MD, 50-year cough cure researcher. The Weinberger procedure is the most important non-pharmaceutical intervention, NPI, everywhere in the world. Notice to military and force commanders, all of Dr. Weinberger's research and cure of dry refractory cough is peer-reviewed and published since 1991 in multiple esteemed medical journals. Off-site link here. Off-site links to esteemed medical research sites for verification, validation and peace of mind, NIH. Gov link here. Note, some links above are behind paywalls. We maintain localized copies as noted below. Special note, the Weinberger procedure is now accepted for use in adult asthma, allergy and immunology, AAAA and I, offices via a clinical pearl located in the world-renowned Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology, in practice. Here. 1. Dr. Bernard A. Berman's peer-reviewed and published study from 1966. Here. Local link. 2. Dr. Miles Weinberger's peer-reviewed and published study with Royal Brompton Hospital, UK, from 1991 here, local link. 3. Dr. Miles Weinberger's unexpected and unintended cure by proxy revolutionary peer-reviewed and published paper from 2019 here, off-site link, and cures of the coughs without a cause which includes adults specifically. Here note. What makes this permanent cure so revolutionary is that it met the peer review and publishing criteria in one of the most esteemed medical journals in the world numerous times. The term, by proxy, means that the Weinberger procedure cures diagnosed dry, refractory, lingering cough in children and adults literally just by watching a YouTube documentary and following simple instructions noted in the video and here on this website. The YouTube documentary is based upon an instant and permanent cure via telemedicine by Dr. Weinberger. As unusual and questionable as it sounds, it is remarkably based upon recognized medical process and procedure, with fascinating and shocking curative results. Remember, until now, there has never in medical history been a replicable instant and permanent cure for dry, refractory, idiopathic, lingering cough which is absent once asleep, only to return once awake, habit cough. There have been antitussive treatments, but never a cure until the peer-reviewed and published Weinberger procedure by proxy and via telemedicine. 4. Dr. Miles Weinberger's perspective on chronic cough in children and adults from January 2020 here, off-site link. 5. Repository of Dr. Miles Weinberger's peer-reviewed and published work here, local archive. Note. Per Dr. Miles Weinberger's research, the Weinberger procedure by proxy and via telemedicine is an effective and replicable drug-free and no-cost cure for diagnosed chronic and acute dry, repetitive, refractory, idiopathic cough as noted here. Note, your doctor might certainly charge you a fee. Production Note 1. We are currently producing a version of the Weinberger procedure to include an adult utilizing the cure for dry refractory cough. It will be completed soon. The current version with the child is effective for adults and children. Critical update 2. I spoke with Dr. Weinberger and told him that I was considering to reshoot the curative Weinberger procedure therapy session with an older actor/actress in military uniform. I asked his thoughts. He said that he was happy with the current version with 12-year-old Bethany. He said it was the perfect session and has been used successfully with people from age 3 to 63 with up to 25 years of dry acute and chronic cough. Everyone can relate to the 12-year-old. No changes are necessary. Makes sense. Resolute force and fleet readiness has no time to wait. There is an instant cure for the dry cough. The cure is the Weinberger procedure by proxy. Resolute. The dry cough aerosol cloud that permeates our close quarter and densely packed defenses, ships, submarines, aircraft, tents, dorms, tanks, schools, military vehicles, bases, bunkers, is decimating force and fleet readiness piece by piece. It is exponential. A single dry cough, aerosol cloud can take out 5 of your buddies. These 5 can each dry cough and take out 5 more each. Suddenly, your ship, sub, or air wing is pierside or in a hangar. Your base is on lockdown. Everyone has a dry cough that just won't stop. Your diagnosed dry cough can be cured and you will mitigate and contain at 100% of cough aerosol droplets. No dry cough equals no dry cough aerosol droplets. Notice to physicians and researchers, all medical research on this website is peer-reviewed and published with off-site links to NIH, Gov and esteemed medical journals for your validation. We will include critical force and fleet readiness updates on this page. Looks like word is getting out to the fleet and forces around the world. I will maintain your confidence. Thanks for helping out. Have your POW or CO contact us via habitcough@gmail.com with photos and videos of personnel training or being cured. Thanks. Posted after so many requests. Thanks to my shipmates and military buddies for stepping up to cure the dry acute cough known since 1694 as habit cough. As always, consult your doctor or medical personnel. This video is not to be considered medical advice. The video above is a version of the original peer-reviewed and published Weinberger procedure by proxy and via telemedicine for adults and children, edited for military, police, fire, AMS and medical personnel. Yes, it is a video of a child and her doctor. This is what is so important. The original peer-reviewed and published video is held in the video library at the American Thoracic Society, ATS. Don't think that it is just a video of a child being cured from a simple cough. Bethany is patient cure 0 by proxy, via telemedicine, for any adult or child who suffers from refractory, dry, unexplained chronic or acute cough. As unusual and unexpected as it seems, this simple video is curing adults and children in their language around the world. Cure the dry cough and you mitigate and contain the dry cough. Resolute force and fleet readiness is increased. Dr. Weinberger says that after you have been cured from your dry refractory habit cough, you must adhere to the simple, yet effective, recovery plan located here. Force and fleet readiness relies on your diligence and strict adherence to the recovery plan. This dry cough recovery plan is for E1s to sec def to POTUS. This means having a water bottle with the lid off in your hand or at the ready at all times. Be ready to sip water top the tickle that precedes the dry cough. Soon your number of coughs will diminish and the time between coughs will increase. Soon, you will achieve dry cough 0. The best part is that you will know how to cure/control your dry habit cough next time in a very effective manner. Your diligence will work to assist in maintaining force and fleet readiness at maximum. Weinberger procedure recovery files and documents. Weinberger procedure generic recovery practice audio, MP3, download here. Weinberger procedure generic recovery practice video, MP4, download here. Weinberger procedure generic recovery practice YouTube video here. Weinberger procedure suggestion therapy script here. Question: can I learn the Weinberger procedure ahead of having a dry cough? Answer: it has been reported to Dr. Weinberger that some patients who have learned the Weinberger procedure while experiencing dry refractory cough have easily halted any future dry coughs. Learning ahead of time might be of benefit. Please report back to the Habit Cough story page here with your feedback. It can be helpful to Dr. Weinberger's research and to others in force, fleet and EMS readiness. The 24th of April 2020, uncomfortable news about another USN fighting ship, the fierce and powerful USS Kidd, but there is a deployed, peer-reviewed and published mitigation and containment method which is drug-free and readily available to the fleet and force. We do not like to see our warships pierside for any type of mass personnel health concerns. Each sub, air and surface warfighter has a specific and important task to ensure maximum force and fleet readiness. We were told that each sailor was a tooth on a gear. Loss of just one tooth will cause undue stress and friction on the gear. For loss of the tooth, the gear was lost. For want of the gear, the engine was lost. For loss of the engine, ship's movement was lost. For want of ship's movement, the vessel was lost. All for the want of the tooth. Dr. Weinberger, MD states, First, we need to cure the dry cough. Great chart to how prevalent dry cough is to coronavirus. Ask your doctor about the Weinberger procedure dry cough cure and when/how to utilize it. The 14th of April 2020, one dry cough. That's all it takes. Cure the dry cough and you will mitigate and contain cough aerosol spray droplets. Now, since the Weinberger procedure cure by proxy is highly effective with diagnosed adults, we have adjusted to emergency force and fleet readiness posture. Watch on YouTube or download an offline copy here. Nothing is more important than force and fleet readiness. Nothing. Resolute. One dry cough is too many. Situation Report 2, Mitigation and Containment. Recognize that the peer-reviewed and published work on this website is not mine. I am an engineer in the space industry for the last 30+ years. The mitigation and containment process contained herein is 30+ years of collective peer-reviewed and published work by Dr. Miles Weinberger, MD, acute and chronic cough cure researcher, pediatric pulmonologist, immunologist, asthma specialist. His cure works equally well with adults. Dr. Weinberger is the first and only medical doctor to instantly and permanently cure the unexplained, dry repetitive cough in children and adults. There has never been a replicable cure for any type of dry cough in the history of medicine. Hard to believe. Ask a doctor to tell you the name of the peer-reviewed and published procedure or drug that cures dry refractory cough by proxy. The only name you will see again and again is Dr. Miles Weinberger, MD. Situation Report 3, the dry cough aerosol cloud that permeates our close-quarter defenses is decimating force and fleet readiness. It is exponential. A single dry cough aerosol cloud can take out 5 of your buddies. These 5 can each dry cough and take out 5 more each. The effect is exponential. You can cure your dry cough and mitigate and contain at maximum readiness by curing your dry cough aerosol. If you or someone near you has a dry cough, have them tell the doc about the Weinberger procedure at the first dry cough. Force and fleet readiness relies on the Weinberger procedure cure for dry refractory acute and chronic cough in office, via telemedicine or by proxy. Cure the dry cough and you mitigate and contain your habit cough. Yes, adults can get habit cough also, and it can be instantly and permanently cured. It is known by many names: lingering dry cough, dry smoker's cough, hacking dry cough, unexplained dry cough, habit cough. Any other variation of dry repetitive cough that is not present while asleep might be curable habit cough. Read Dr. Weinberger's diagnosis here. Force and fleet readiness needs you to mitigate and contain cough aerosol spray. One dry cough is too many and can take down a ship, sub, air wing or base. Situation Report 4, learn the Weinberger procedure ahead of time. Great idea for force and fleet readiness. A single cough is one too many. Note, we have been hearing about individuals and squads who have taken it upon themselves to begin learning the Weinberger procedure in advance of force or fleet movement. Bravo Zulu, good job in Navy lingo, hoo-yah. For my Army buddies, pass it along to your buddies. Send YouTube links of you and your buddies learning the Weinberger procedure. Fun. Here is Dr. Weinberger's diagnostic criteria for acute or chronic habit cough in adults and children. It has a great little nugget based upon the following story from Australia, Maryland, and Oklahoma. Backstory: 4 patients reported the following. Patients utilized the Weinberger procedure by proxy, YouTube video, for the cure of their acute and chronic dry refractory habit cough in minutes. The patients were able to immediately halt their dry refractory cough after they had been cured when a new and separate upper respiratory infection occurred 6 months later. This amazed Dr. Weinberger. One patient, an 11-year-old child, same for adults, had her yearly season change cold. Mom asked her why she was not dry coughing like she did every time prior. She said, "Since I learned the Weinberger procedure, I don't have to cough anymore." Takeaway: there is a potential for military members and civilians to learn the Weinberger procedure in advance to arrest any future dry cough events. I also continue to be fascinated and astonished. Dr. Miles Weinberger, MD. Habit cough diagnosis. The repetitive barking cough that is not present once the patient is asleep is the diagnostic criteria. It might take a while for the patient to fall asleep. It matters whether the cough is not present once asleep, only to return once awake. Editor note. The characteristics of the self-perpetuating habit cough is its repetitiveness and absence once asleep. Once the patient meets the diagnostic criteria for habit cough, even while the repetitive cough is still considered acute, less than 4 weeks, treatment with suggestion therapy, Weinberger procedure here, is appropriate. There is no need to wait until the cough is considered to be chronic, 4 weeks/child and 8 weeks/adult. Multiple patients report that knowledge of the Weinberger procedure allows them to stop their future coughs during the acute period once diagnosis of habit cough has been met. Situation Report 5, great update from America's Stu Smith, www.stusmith.com, user 91, Navy SEAL. This was extracted from Stu Smith's his weekly Ask Stu column at www.military.com. It is spot on. Even one released cough from an infected sailor, soldier, or airman can infect an entire room of personnel. Learning the Weinberger procedure, even at your first cough, will teach you how to mitigate and contain any future coughs. Resolute. Ask Stu, what are you doing to avoid illness while working? Stu Smith. Avoid coughing. Many people have a habit cough and do not even know it. Postnasal sinus drip, allergies or the after-effects of a lung infection can cause a lingering, dry cough that persists during the day, but does not occur during sleep. Coughing is basically an aerosol spray of germs. You may not even know you are a carrier of the virus, and any cough that is uncovered could be dangerous to another person in the room. With spring allergy season in bloom, practice not coughing and/or cover coughs as ways to prevent spread of the virus. If you think you have a habit cough, check out Dr. Miles Weinberger's peer-reviewed research and methods to cure it. However, if you are congested with a fever, make sure you get tested and avoid people altogether. There are many things we as citizens can do to avoid getting sick and to prevent spreading this illness. If you must leave home to work, take seriously the tips above to help you mitigate the illness. There is no need to panic. Simply be alert and cautious with both situational awareness and personal internal awareness, just as you would when you were a Marine patrolling in a combat zone. Stu Smith is a former Navy SEAL and fitness author certified as a Strength and Conditioning Specialist, CSCS, with the National Strength and Conditioning Association. Visit his fitness ebook store if you're looking to starting a workout program to create a healthy lifestyle. Send your fitness questions to stu@stusmith.com. Situation Report 6, General John Hyten says coronavirus may affect more Navy ships. Editor note, cure the dry cough and halt the cough aerosol cloud. Back to force and fleet readiness. Resolute. Link here. Washington, AP. Pentagon leaders anticipate that the coronavirus may strike more Navy ships at sea after an outbreak aboard an aircraft carrier in the Pacific infected more than 400 sailors, a top general said Thursday. General John Hyten, vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said one member of the crew of the USS Theodore Roosevelt was hospitalized Thursday in intensive care on Guam, where the carrier has been docked for more than a week. He said 416 crew members are now infected and that 1,164 test results are pending. More. Editor note, cure the cough and you'll mitigate and contain the cough aerosol cloud in confined spaces. Highly effective cure for patients diagnosed by their doctor with habit cough. Situation Report 7, Fleet and Force Readiness Update. Subject, Patient Cure Zero by Proxy. Backstory, I was a sailor in the USN during the 1980s aboard the USS Farragut DDG-37. I was a RM-2 radioman. Our awesome, fearless and powerful commanding officer, Admiral David Sargent, USN, RET, was passionate about his country, Navy, crew and their families, just like your CO and chain of command. Peace through superior fleet and force readiness. We knew through his command, control, and esprit de corps, the term is French, and it literally means the spirit of the body, with body in this case meaning group, that we would make it through combat missions and return safely home. We did. Above all this, Admiral Sargent instilled in his dedicated crew the singular need for fleet and force readiness. He believes, like you, that safety of the crew and ship meant that fleet, force and firepower objectives were met and surpassed, guaranteeing victory at sea. He is a good man and a sailor's sailor. Minimums do not apply. Stu Smith. This dry cough aerosol microdroplet spray is occurring on ships, subs, aircraft, tanks, and military bases around the world. Mitigation and containment is achievable. Achieve mitigation and containment by curing the refractory dry cough now. There is no time to waste. Our combat missions were in the Libyan Gulf of Sidra in 1986. After EOS, I got a job at NASA in 1989 and have been there ever since. I do not represent NASA. Dry coughing cured. Ships were made to be at sea. US Navy ships were not designed to be tied to a seawall, because the crew cannot stop dry coughing and spreading the cough aerosol. Cure the cough and you mitigate and contain the virus. Dr. Miles Weinberger, MD, is a 40-plus-year cough researcher, asthma specialist, immunologist and discoverer of cure from dry cough by proxy and via telemedicine. He took notice of the transmission of cough aerosol on US Navy ships and military locations around the world. He had recently adapted his peer-reviewed and published, dry, unexplained cough cure to work anywhere in the world just by watching a simple YouTube video of a little girl being cured, in office, or via telemedicine. Amazing and unbelievable as this sounds, the Weinberger procedure has been documented numerous times in peer-reviewed and published esteemed medical journals. Here, via an off-site link to Dr. Weinberger's collection of work at ResearchGate for verification of authenticity. The girl in the suggestion therapy curative video is Cure Patient Zero. She is also my daughter. Whether you are a sailor, soldier, marine, airman, admiral or E1, and cannot stop coughing, watching this simple little video will cure you if you meet the simple diagnostic criteria below. Dr. Weinberger's cure is perplexing, impressive and a nearly highly effective peer-reviewed and published cure as noted by the medical researchers in the graphic below. Watch the video when your cough is at its worst, normally in the evening for a lot of children as young as 3 and adults as old as 65 with up to 20+ years of refractory, unexplained acute and chronic cough. This was me as a 4.0 second class radio man, L to R, from boot camp, classified burn drum on the fantail of USS Farragut DDG-37 Med Cruise 1:86 off the coast of Sicily and Italy, and on the footbridge at Nas Patuxent River, Maryland 1988. Now, fleet and force readiness is becoming compromised via virus and influenza cough aerosol. These viruses are spread via cough aerosol of virus droplets. Don't think that this video, above, is just a video of a little girl talking to a doctor on a Skype video call. Bethany is Cure Patient Zero by proxy, via a Skype call or YouTube video. The peer-reviewed and published original of this curative video is in the permanent video library at the American Thoracic Society, ATS. After 40 years of research and curing children in person, Bethany is the first child, or adult, to be cured of 500,000 chronic, or acute, dry refractory coughs via a Skype call anywhere in the world. Now there are many adults and children. Bethany is Cure Patient Zero by proxy, via a Skype call or YouTube video in any language in the world. This is the first full and complete cure for any type of dry cough, by proxy, via telemedicine. Now, this simple and humble video of Cure Patient Zero has cured children 3 years and older and adults with over 20 years of dry refractory cough, almost instantly, with an extremely high instant and permanent cure rate when diagnosed, as noted below, as habit cough. As Dr. Weinberger titled his paper on the subject, it was quite unexpected and unintended, cure from chronic, or acute, dry refractory, unexplained cough. Never before in the history of medicine has this cough been cured, let alone by watching a YouTube video or via telemedicine. Note, these are not my assertions. They are Dr. Weinberger's countless peer-reviewed and published medial facts as noted here in the most prestigious medical journals in the world. Chest Journal and Annals of Asthma, Allergy, and Immunology. The Weinberger procedure cure by proxy, and via telemedicine, from habit cough is drug-free with no side effects, no cost, no charge or fee of any kind. The Weinberger procedure works in English, Spanish, Italian, and Arabic. Translators are needed for all of the world languages here. Mitigation and containment of virus aerosol can be easily achieved with the Weinberger procedure after a simple diagnosis. 1. Do you have a dry lingering cough? Example, 1 cough per minute equals 840 coughs in 14 hours. Multiply this by the number of people coughing and the number adds up and becomes exponential real quick. My daughter, on her own, coughed over 5,000 times per day for 100 days. One child who was cured in 15 minutes by the Weinberger procedure coughed 27,000 times per day. I saw her coughing video and it was astonishing. We Skyped her the next day and she was down to a couple hundred in a day. Shocking. Only days later, after her recovery, she had no more dry cough. More importantly, she can now hold any future coughs. This is the untold story about Dr. Weinberger's untold cure. 2. Do you only cough while awake? The words below might be repeated on this humble website by a dad and USN veteran. Recognize that they are the powerful fleet and force readiness words of a dogged and relentless 40-year acute and chronic cough researcher. Dr. Weinberger is the only doctor in history to cure this killer dry cough via a YouTube video. Read this aloud to your buddies, your squad, your team, your company. If you are a squad leader, officer or commanding officer, read this to your troops. Diagnosis of habit cough, dry refractory unexplained cough. The repetitive barking cough that is not present once the patient is asleep is the diagnostic criteria. Even though it might take a while to fall asleep while coughing, the cough that is not present while asleep is the criteria. Editor. The characteristics of the self-perpetuating habit cough is its repetitiveness and absence once asleep. Once the patient meets the diagnostic criteria for habit cough, even while the repetitive cough is still considered acute, less than 4 weeks, treatment with suggestion therapy is appropriate. Suggestion therapy is the Weinberger procedure by proxy located here. Editor. There is no need to wait until the cough is considered to be chronic, 4 weeks/child and 8 weeks/adult. Multiple patients report that knowledge of the Weinberger procedure allows them to stop their future coughs during the acute period once diagnosis of habit cough has been met. Remember, the Weinberger procedure does not cure a virus or underlying condition. It does cure the diagnosed refractory, dry cough that spreads the virus via cough aerosol spray. Note: Dr. Weinberger says that the human body is the perfect aerosol spray device. Cough, walk 10 feet, cough, walk to another group of people, cough. Each cough is an aerosol spray of whatever might be in your lungs. Click the links above for diagnosis, cure, recovery. Recovery is the most important part. Situation Report 8. Read this. It is from 1991. It shows the collective amazement of the researchers at how easy and impressive the cure for months, and now years and decades of habit cough is. It is more amazing and shocking that the same cure for children can now be used for adults who might have been misdiagnosed for their dry refractory, unexplained chronic cough. Remember that there has never been a habit cough study for adults. Dr. Weinberger was perplexed at the unexpected and unintentional cure of adults from up to decades of dry cough. Read the history of cough here and see if your cough sounds like undiagnosed habit cough. Talk to your doctor. Show them Dr. Weinberger's collective work here. Situation Report 9. I started this website to display the brilliant work of Dr. Miles Weinberger, MD, pediatric pulmonologist, immunologist, asthma, acute and chronic cough researcher. My greatest quest was to get the word out to the doctors of children who suffer from habit cough. A whole lot has changed. In December 2019, Bethany made her 8th grade science fair project about curing a vicious, global rare disease by watching a YouTube video. Her hope was to inform people about the Weinberger procedure. At one point, she asked what cough aerosol transmission of virus meant. This query was directed at transmission of influenza virus. Her project is here. Now, the entire website has been redirected to getting the word out that an acute or chronic dry cough in children and adults can be cured by the Weinberger procedure, with a proper diagnosis. The Weinberger procedure still works at extremely high rates on a properly diagnosed child or adult. Consult with your medical professionals. We say this all over the website. Situation Report 10. Not coughing because you were instantly cured is the same as normal breathing below. Situation Report 11. There are no politics here at habitcough.com. That being said, this was just spoken by Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. The sooner we contain it, the better off we'll all be in terms of health and prosperity. Situation Report 12. We use the word cure a lot on habit cough, with reference to the whole of the Weinberger procedure cure by proxy, stating that the Weinberger procedure cures chronic refractory cough, diagnosed as habit cough, is a huge claim. Other than the Weinberger procedure cure by proxy, there is no cure for chronic cough and has never been a replicable cure for chronic cough. Yes, there are chronic cough treatments aplenty, but no cure. I performed a word search for cure and none exists. Click here and read Dr. Weinberger's brilliant paper, called Unexpected and Unintended Cure of Habit Cough by Proxy, by Weinberger, MD. This paper is not about tussive suppression of chronic cough. It is about the cure of chronic cough, diagnosed as habit cough, since 1694. Editor note: there are so many implications to a cure. The first that might be expected is skepticism. This is fine and fully expected, but there is no getting around the fact that the Weinberger procedure cure by proxy fits this definition: cure, relieve, a person or animal, of the symptoms of a disease or condition. He was cured of the chronic habit cough. Diagnose, cure, mitigate, suppress, contain, cured. Yes, cured. Chronic dry cough, cured by proxy in children and adults. Cough aerosol transmission of virus and disease mitigated, suppressed and contained after 50 years of peer-reviewed and published cough research by Dr. Weinberger, MD.